who is called an adept? Adept is one who has delinked himself from the body of flesh and blood and can delink from the body of flesh and blood forever and moves in Svecha Dehas, meaning unconditioned bodies of light. I have been mentioning to you about the unconditioned bodies of light, the etheric body and the causal body, the body of golden light and the body of diamond light. Yes. అష్టాంగ యోగమున సిద్ధుడై దేహమునకును తనకును గల బంధమును శాశ్వతముగా తెలుసుకుని, దీస్ ఆర్ ది sentences which are very important. When we read, our mind is so busy that we miss that. He is an adept because he delinked himself from the body of flesh and blood and learned how to move in the bodies which cannot be conditioned by anything in the creation. తెలుసుకుని స్వేచ్ఛాదేహములందు సంచరించుట అభ్యసించను. So he learned how to move with the body of golden light and with the body of diamond light. After that, the father sent word to Lord Maitreya. Now that you have learned what is to be learned, please come back. Now I shall teach you archery. Because he was the king to be. He is the prince of Benares. So he should be the king to be. So he told his son, having called him back, learn archery from me so that you are complete. For that, the Lord answers. He is Lord now, ever since he took to the office of the world teacher. But before that, he was just Maitreya. So he answered his father in obedience, and that is what I wish to narrate to you this evening. You may have to bear with me if it is not completed on time. He says, Revered Father, the purpose of my life seemed to be different. I do not feel that I am born to rule the kingdom. Yes. Our teacher, Parashara, has devoted his whole life for the future of this sacred land, to protect it, to ensure that it remains an abode of light, to be transmitted to humanity again and again. He devoted his whole life for it. And all that he worked through all these years was only for the upliftment of the light and also upliftment of the sacred land Aryavarta. He told me that the Lord himself is going to incarnate, and that people like us who are his disciples should cooperate with the work of the Lord when the Lord incarnates into flesh and blood on this earth. For that reason, he entrusted me with a duty to ensure that the work of the Lord happens with a lot of felicity, with a lot of ease. He instructed me to move in the subtle bodies which I have gained through yoga and keep helping the work that he does from the subtle planes. That's the work entrusted to me by the teacher. No doubt you are my father and you wish to entrust the kingdom to me. But the quality of my soul is not inclined to rule the kingdom. You know, people who get into deep wisdom relating to the Vedas, relating to yoga, the quality of their soul gets such a transformation, they can no more do business. It's impossible for them to do business. It's impossible for them to rule others, because the very spirit of yoga is that I rule myself, I let others rule themselves. If they want, I shall guide, but I shall not impose myself upon others. That's the ultimate understanding man gets when he gets deep into these occult sciences. And Maitreya, having accomplished such depth in varieties of occult sciences, he says the quality of my soul does not permit me to function as a ruler anymore. No doubt I am born a prince, I am born as a ruler, but I am not inclined to rule. I am more inclined today to work for the great teacher Parasara, who gave the prophecy that the Lord is going to be incarnated, and the subtle bodies that I have gained, I should utilize in a subtle manner to enable the Lord to accomplish His work and to follow Him in all stages. See, most of us who read Bhagavata, Mahabharata and such other scriptures, in those scriptures we don't find the people behind the scene. Behind the scene, the Lord had a team of co-workers, a team of true disciples. The Lord praises the Vraja Gopikas. He says when it comes to bhakti, it is like Vraja Gopikas. But in truth, He has a team who has been working for Him during His life and even after His departure to ensure the spread of light. These are the masters of wisdom. No mention is ever made because they never wanted themselves to be mentioned in the scriptures written by Vedavyasa. And Vedavyasa was also part of this team. So this is the work that is entrusted to me by Lord, by the world teacher, and I have taken to the caves of Kalapa in Himalayas and carry out the divine plan for long time to come. Yes. I am also given the task of rejuvenating the dilapidated village of Shambhala and cooperate with the work of the Lord as He once takes to flesh and blood. Not only that, it appears I shall have to stay put on the planet in the subtle body until the conclusion of Kali Yuga and work as the vehicle of the Lord. He compares himself as the Adiseshu, the serpentine bed upon which the Lord is said to rest. So I shall be His handmaid. I shall be His servant to ensure that the light of the Veda prevails until Kali Yuga, until the end of Kali Yuga. Until that time, I am to stay in the subtle body. Imagine what kind of subtle body he has gained. In fact, the subtle body he gained was abundantly supplemented by Lord Krishna himself when he departed. Because Krishna himself came with the body made up of cosmic sounds which were invoked by Parashara and his team of adepts, because the ether relating to this planet cannot stand the brilliance of the light of the Lord. The 5 elements of this earth were found to be not pure enough to enable the descent of the Lord. So consequently, at the advice of Narada, Parasara conducts a ritual, a grand ritual, for over 7 days and 8 nights. And through this ritual and through certain utterances and certain consecrations that the team does, a cosmic body was created through sounds, and that body was the body into which the Lord first descends. That is what the Lord always refers to about his aprakruta sarira. It is not born out of the prakriti of this earth, aprakruta sarira. So the Lord first descended into that aprakruta body, and with that body he imposes himself upon the body of flesh and blood that was delivered by Devaki, wife of Vasudeva. That's how the Lord functioned mostly with aprakruta sarira, and prakruta sarira is only for people to see him through the naked eye. So that special body, which was prepared by Parasara, was also bestowed upon Lord Maitreya by Lord Krishna. That's why whosoever gets the presence of Krishna, the experience of Krishna, great devotees thereafter experienced Krishna. It is the presence of Krishna that the etheric body of Krishna bestows on the devotees. That's how Lord Maitreya himself is blessing the devotees to experience the presence of the Lord. So that is the reason why the Lord himself says, it appears that till the end of the Yuga of Kali, I shall have to be in the bodies of light and carry out the work as the medium of the Lord, as the vehicle of the Lord. Not only me, the elder brother of Shantanu. You all know Shantanu in Mahabharata. Not much is said about Devapi, the elder brother of Shantanu. It is there in Bhagavata. If you read Bhagavata, you find him. But not much, only a few lines. Devapi was elder of the two. And Devapi also became student of Parashara, the world teacher. While Maitreya was the prince of Benares, Devapi was the prince of the great Kuru empire. So he came from the emperor's family. He is the eldest son of the emperor, and he also went into Himalayas and learned all those occult sciences under the guidance of Parasara, and he too has decided not to rule the great Indian empire as the emperor of Kuru. In fact, in the case of Devapi, after he goes through all education and comes home, he doesn't feel like ruling the kingdom. It's a common symptom. If you get into Brahma Vidya, you would not like to live for food. You would not like to rule others. Even Vasudeva he did not feel like ruling the beings. He wanted to be friendly with the beings, so he gave away the kingdom and went into simple communities and gave them an excellent way of living in communities. Those are the Vrindavanas. So that's how all great beings, as they get more and more enlightened, they walk away from all worldly activities. That's the beauty of wisdom. That's the beauty of occult sciences. So the prince of Kuru Empire also decided not to rule the kingdom. Then the ministers and the priests said, when the elder is there, the younger cannot rule. Only if the elder dies, the younger can rule. But while you are living, how can your younger brother would rule? Then Devapi, that is Master Kuthumi, he suggests to the priest, you excommunicate me. He expel me from the kingdom. Because I have disobeyed the duty of being a king. So if you excommunicate me, a person who is excommunicated is as good as dead for the community. So you excommunicate me so that I would leave this place and settle in Himalayas. So Devapi, along with Maitreya, they have come to an understanding to cooperate with the plan. So that's what Lord Maitreya is narrating to his father. The elder brother of Shantanu, that is Devapi, also decided to join hands with me and work for the plan as per the direction coming from the world teacher Parasara. He has already sacrificed his throne. He gave it in favor of his younger brother, and he is already there in the caves of Kalapa. Yes. He is the one who would protect and who would propagate the theosophy, Divya Jnana. Divya Jnana means the jnana relating to the divine. Theos means God. In Greek language, Theos means God. Sophia means wisdom. So wisdom of God is Brahma Jnana or Divya Jnana or Theosophy in English. That's the translation made by Madame Blavatsky. So he decided to preserve and also propagate the Brahma Jnana throughout the planet until the conclusion of Kali Yuga, and he expressed his cooperation to me, and he is already there in Kalapa, in the caves of Kalapa. He also accomplished immortality like me. He also gained the bodies of light. Yes. And then the prince, the great being from the solar dynasty, Maru. Yes. You must know that there was a solar dynasty and then a lunar dynasty. Suryavamsapu Rajula Katha, Chandravamsapu Rajula Katha. It relates to two systemic existence. It's not the same system. The solar dynasty relates to the preceding systemic existence. We all belong to those times. And we are continuing, not yet completed our course here, not able to get back. So in the meanwhile, the lunar dynasty has come. So we are more stuck with mind. But the dynasty of the solar kings is continuing on the planet. And in that dynasty, there is the Maharshi Maru. He too has accomplished what I have accomplished, and he has taken to give the right ruling knowledge to the ruling community on the planet, and also propagate Brahma Vidya. Yes. And Maitreya also says, at the end of Kali Yuga, for the entire planet, the only king that would be Maharshi Maru, and the Lord himself would coronate him again as the emperor. Then, to preserve all the knowledge so far gained through all these yugas, our great teacher Parashara, he trained his own son Vedavyasa. He is given the task of scribing the Vedas, classifying them, elaborating the Purana, and writing Brahma Sutras, and later Vedavyasa also gave out Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavata, and Bhagavad Gita was only a part of it. In the very beginning of Kali Yuga, a great work was done by Vedavyasa. For that reason, we should regularly invoke him. If only this wisdom is not made available in the form of scriptures, there would not have been much light left on the planet for Kali Yuga. Whatever knowledge that has emerged ever since the advent of Vedavyasa, it is only a detail of that. No one could contribute anything more than what Vedavyasa has done. Vyasaya Vishnu Rupaya, Vyasa Rupaya Vishnave. Isn't it? He is again, Vedavyasa is an embodiment of Vishnu himself. So such high beings, he was Uparichara Vasu. Vedavyasa was Uparichara Vasu, means he is the one who dwells in the most high planes. Uparichara means the one who moves high up there. He was brought down by Parasara using Satyavati as a vehicle, because the planet needed such a light. You can imagine the grandeur of Parasara. See, we don't relate ourselves to Parasara so much, but Parasara is the foundation stone for all the work that has later happened. And he is the one who prepared everything for Lord Krishna. He prepared a team for Lord Krishna and submitted that team to enable the Lord to continue the light upon the planet for the benefit of humanity. So it is he who was conceived by Parasara himself through Satyavati, and he also learnt all sciences of wisdom along with us. We are all colleagues. How many are there? Maru, Devapi, Maitreya, Vedavyasa. And then Parasara also trained one more being by name Sandipani. He was also another great being. He also mastered all these occult sciences and specially mastered Tantra, Mantra and Tantra. It is he who gets back to Ujjain and settles down in Ujjain. The dynasty of Sandipani still continues in Ujjain. They are all masters of astrology, masters of Tantra, masters of Mantra. Ujjaini as a university for higher education is known right from those times because of Sandipani. And all these stories of Bhatti, Vikramarka, Patala Bhairavi, relating to all Tantra, it emerged from the teaching that came from Sandipani. Even today, for all Tantric Vidya on the globe, Ujjain is the center, there is no equal to it. So he came to Ujjain and became later the teacher for infant Krishna, because Krishna has to demonstrate, though he is Lord himself, he had to demonstrate, like every other human being, all the stations of human life. Krishna learns all the 64 Vidyas, Chatushashti Kalas, Chatushashti Vidyas. You find this word Chatushashti in Lalita Sahasranama at least 3 to 4 times. So all these 64 sciences were learned from Sandipani by Lord Krishna, and the great teacher Parasara foresaw a teacher for the Lord, and he prepared one Sandipani. And he is not only an accomplished man, he has a small weakness. That is, Maitreya is saying that his friendliness has no bounds. His friendliness has no bounds. If he believes someone as his friend, he would go to any extent to help his friend. So this Sandipani has brought along with him another soul by name Brihaspati. And he requested the teacher Parasara to teach Brihaspati also this wisdom. And a teacher has a duty. Anyone who comes up to him and seeks wisdom, he must teach. He can put some tests, but he has to teach, he cannot deny. He has to share the knowledge he has. So he taught that Brihaspati also. So how many are there now? Maitreya, Devapi, Maru, Vedavyasa, Sandipani, Brihaspati. And Lord Maitreya says here to his father, I have a doubt about this Brihaspati, that having learnt the tricks of the trade, having learnt the intricacies of wisdom, I have a hunch that he will work against the Veda tradition. This is what he is telling as a prophecy to his father, which happens a century later. It is he who tries to work anti-Veda, and he renames himself as Rakta Sarma. And then there was the seventh one from Yadavas, that is Akrura. He too was a student of Parasara. He was also born in a very divine family and was a high soul who too reached Parasara for education, and we are all working for the moment, for the advent of the Lord. Yes. Then the king of Benares, he asked his son, what exactly the world teacher Parasara is doing now? What is he teaching you now? Because you have accomplished in yoga, what else he is teaching you now? Then Maitreya says, the entire essence of Veda is synthesized by our teacher into Vishnu Purana. One day we have to read these Puranas. We don't read any, but we feel we have already read so much. He is teaching the entire synthesis of Veda through Vishnu Purana to me. Actually, Vishnu Purana is a catechism, question answer session between Maitreya and Parasara. That's how the whole theme runs. And in that, he is giving the statesmanship and the science of ruling, and he is also giving the details of how a king should punish and what are the rules for liberation of the soul. And in Vishnu Purana, he also synthesized astronomy, and he gave the story of all the solar systems in it, and the stories of Manvantaras and Yugas, and there is nothing that is left out. Yes. Even in such a stupendous work, our teacher is giving detailed instructions relating to duty of a human. How should a human live? It includes astrology, and it includes all sciences relating to time, and this is what is teaching. What is he teaching me today? Yes. It's already 50 years since the great teacher Parasara is synthesizing the wisdom into Vishnu Purana. So we are all engaged in this work. That is how Lord Maitreya becomes a co-worker with the then world teacher. He was the pet student of Parasara. He is the adopted son. While Vedavyasa was the son born to him, he treated Parasara on the same footing as Vedavyasa because of the merit that he was showing all the time. No doubt, the merit of Parasara of Maitreya was so abundant that even Lord Krishna chose him as the vehicle for Kali Yuga to propagate light. So this is the antecedents relating to the life of Lord Maitreya, who is the present world teacher, and he has his team of great beings, great adepts, who have been working for thousands of years to help humanity to walk into the path of light. So this is only all that I have related to you or narrated to you is contained in just 2 pages here. Like that, you have well stuffed wisdom in a book like this, where you are introduced once again to the great beings that are responsible for the upliftment of humanity. For that reason, we need to think of these series of books which I have mentioned in the beginning of this session. Thank you. Without that desire, we do not know how to think. The Master says, if you have learned how to desire and how to think, then he makes an instruction, learn how to sleep. Learn how to wake up from sleep. So right from the simple acts of daily life, he puts you into the insight. He builds inroads into the field of light. So our problem is one of desire, and unless the desire is clean, we continue to cause destruction to the vital body and also cause destruction to the web of the etheric body. If we can retain your etheric body, intact, even if the physical is destroyed through time, you would be shifting in the meanwhile your awareness into the etheric and continue to carry the same awareness and consciousness. That's where the initial step of yoga is. That is where we worship Ganapati, because Mahaganapati is the cosmic deity that enables rearrangement of things in us in accordance with the natural order, and would also help us to de-link from the linkage to the material world. That is why he is to be worshipped, for de-linking with the Mooladhara. And the teacher also helps you directly for such de-linking with the material linkage. And all that you have to practice is to regulate the desire. So desire regulation is a major activity through which we restore health. We restore the etheric web. And consequently, the physical body is also restored to health. Yes. That's how we have to understand the functioning of the subtle bodies within the body of flesh and blood. So when you have gained a clean mind, you would have cleansed your desires, you would have cleansed your thoughts, and you are vibrant enough. Orange is the color that vibrates with much energy. That is the reason, if you are ready for such work of discipleship, you are recommended to hold an orange colored diary, where you will make note of the instructions that you receive during the morning and evening prayer. The regularity with which you maintain the diary would show the sincerity relating to your practice. If you are really regular and are sincere, the Master will start instructing you. This is a promise. Master E.K. was recommended to maintain such diary. Initially, he received lot of instructions, and later he even received dictations, such as the huge work of spiritual astrology and spiritual psychology. These were just dictations to him through prayers and through contemplations. So everything will start from within, and insofar as you show your preparedness to be receptive. So that is why this instruction has also come to be part of our life, that we carry an orange colored diary and we are supposed to hold it at all times and make note of instructions of light as they come to us through prayers and through times of our loneliness or through times of our silence. And it is also recommended not to give publicity to this diary which you maintain. It should be maintained in such a fashion that no one, including your neighbor, meaning the person next to you, meaning even your wife or husband, need not necessarily know. That means you shall not make a special effort to make it known. There is a silent way of doing it. Normally we have urge to show up. What little acts of practice we carry out, there is an anxiety inside that the neighbor should know. If you maintain one, the immediate reaction is you will ask the other, are you maintaining such a diary? Then he asks the same question. He will not answer because he is not maintaining. Are you maintaining? The question is answered by a question. Then you will say with a lot of pride, yes, I am maintaining. Then there is the master who would say thank you. You receive no instructions. Secrecy is fundamental quality of discipleship. There are fundamentally 4 qualities for discipleship. One is secrecy. Second is to remain sacred. Third is to carry out sacraments. What are sacraments? Sacraments are service that leads to sacrifice. Not the rigmarole of the ritual which we do with mics. If we do Rudrabhisheka or Vishnu Sahasranama, the first thing we require is a mic, isn't it? We are all Maikasuras. If there is a mic, it is inevitable that our World Teacher Trust members get inspired to speak, because their knowledge or ignorance can be transmitted far and wide. So that's how there is the urge for publicity. It should be maintained in such a fashion that no one would find it. I give you an example. When I came to know of this instruction of the Master, I casually asked Master E.K., Master, do you maintain such a diary? He said, yes, till date I maintain. Then I said, just for my curiosity and perhaps for inspiration, would you kindly show it to me? He said, for sure, I will show it to you. It's over there in that almirah. You go and pick it up. So I went up to that almirah. It's a mini Godrej almirah, not the big one, but the mini one, which was used by him as his bookshelf. I went and opened the almirah, saw all the books. I did not find any orange-colored book in it. And I came back. He was sitting in the veranda. The almirah was in the front room. I did not find it. I said, Master, the book is not there. The Master said, no, it is there only. Then I said, you please come and take it out. So he came. He asked me to sit in the veranda and asked me to look at him. He was in the room opening the almirah, and from the very top layer he took out the book and came and showed it to me. I was surprised. See, initially, when you are a student, you have too much belief in miracles, isn't it? But Master used to say, this is not a miracle, this is just a magic, a cheap magic, he said. Yes. I asked him, how do you store the book in a manner that no one can see it? Then he took me to the Almirah. In that Almirah, on the upper part, there is a kind of a bend of the iron. So on the roof, he just fixes in the upper roof of the Almirah. So you would look for the books which are settled in the rack, but you don't see something on the roof. So this is how he has so skillfully kept his book so that no one would see it, and he can see it. I have understood that there is a skill of doing anything. Yes. He received the 33 volumes of Pythagoras. Not a joke. 33 volumes of wisdom of Pythagoras was given to him by Master CVV just through dictations. See, we take everything casual. For us, anything is casual. CVV is casual, of course. Many times we don't even remember him that he exists. Because he is in such a silent background that many times we don't recollect him. And his instructions also we don't really care. But we can instruct others about his instructions. That's our beauty. So the Master said, I take you serious if you are serious with your orange dairy. Remember that Master CVV is the avatar of synthesis, and the teachings of, be it teachings of Jwalkul, Master Jwalkul, be it teachings of Master Kuthumi or Pythagoras, or be it the teachings of Lord Maitreya, or that of Vedavyasa, name anyone, any teachings can come to you through Master CVV because he is the synthesis. In synthesis, all the 7 rays merge. In synthesis, all wisdom merges. If Master EK gave rituals, if Master EK gave masonry, if Master EK gave second ray wisdom, if Master EK gave first ray instructions, if he gave so many commentaries and so many varieties of scriptures, and if he has demonstrated so much of healing and teaching, it is all coming from Master CVV. Only by following the simple instructions. So that's where to attain this orange colored mind, the Master instructed maintain an orange colored diary. Don't write all your silly experiences in it because they are all astral. Please take it for granted. Until you have found yourself in light, your experiences are all silly. They may be inspiring to you, but don't propagate them. They have no value. We try to propagate them because our problem is others should think that we are important. We are big enough. And they should have the sense enough to follow us. This is the personality problem. Once when I was moving in Geneva, I found a slogan on a banyan. and a t-shirt, on the back of the t-shirt, there is a slogan, "Don't follow me, I am lost." See, we are ourselves blind, and there is someone following us. So we have done good and we have done the right thing. If we say, "Please don't follow me, I am still blind, I am myself groping in the darkness." Yes. If you two are in the same situation, your following is also blind. When the one who follows him is blind, he does not even know that he is following this man, isn't it? Because he can't read the slogan. So let us not think of followers, let us learn to be followers. We always suffer an inversion. We suffer from followers, not because they cause suffering. Our own idea of others as our followers is the source of all our problems. I think Ramakrishna Shastri must know it by this time. If not, it is about time that he knows about it. Once Master E.K. was asked by the master in a very humorous tone, which was recorded in his diary. It was so transparent. The question of the master to him was, "Who is following whom, my dear?" Are your followers following you, or are you following your followers? Who is following whom? If I come to Bangalore, I am very deeply respected. Isn't it? It is very obvious. So I must go there as often as possible. Now you see the plight of Ramakrishna Shastri. He has Ballari. He has Berhampur. Now he has his grandchildren in Bangalore, Mysore. And now he is giving birth to children in Hyderabad. So if he lives in the glamour of all those who are around him are his followers, he will be pulled in 5 directions. Don't follow the followers. The instruction to the master was, it was a golden instruction. If someone is following you, it is because there is something in you that inspires them. What is that something? Your action, isn't it? So, what should you follow to enable your followers to follow you? Keep intensifying those acts that caused inspiration to the fellow beings. That's it. To run around the followers, to take care of them all the time, to feel anxious that any one of them may get out of this flock. Isn't it? Sishya Samrakshana and Sishya Vyamoham is a very inferior astral flum in which a student is hopelessly caught. To the master who looks at you, you look so funny, so shabby, so disgusting sometimes. So he says, Let him be in that flum for some time to come, when he gets the problems from these followers. Because followers are those who demand things from you. Don't think they are following you. They follow their demands. They follow their personal problems. They have their personal aspirations. And they demand you to fulfill all those things. And for fear of losing a follower, you would start becoming his servant. This is the psychological inversions we go through, not knowing what is happening. So the master asked Master E.K. and Master E.K. is transparent to put it in his diary. I don't think we do such things, because we are not such sincere students. We only record very high astral experiences, so that even by chance someone reads our diary, even after we leave this body, they would feel that we were great. We have such astral projections. So he asked Master, who is following whom? Are you following your followers, or are your followers following you? Make an introspection. Have a retrospect. Tighten your belt. Get rid of all these linkages and keep moving as per the instructions that are given to you. So why I say today about this diary is, the diary puts you straight. Yes. And one thing you would realize, one truth you realize, that the master instructs you. That the master teaches you. That the master exposes you to varieties of scriptures. He can even give you an entry into the secret cave temples of the sacred mountain ranges of this planet, and show up things only when you are secretive. Secrecy is the first strength. Normally we are secret about our misdeeds and highly publicizing about our good deeds. It should be the other way around. That's why Master E.K. wrote in the diary. That is why Narada gives his failure as a teaching to Vedavyasa. They are all transparent beings. They tell us where they made mistakes, so that you don't make those mistakes. Real teachers have no shame in informing their failures. Only the pseudo teachers always speak of their accomplishments. There can be no life of accomplishments without failures. Remember this, because duality is a reality. Lord Krishna is the most accomplished one, but he was not happy putting to death so many people in that war. It was much against his will. He was not happy to see the destruction of Yadavas in his very presence. He took them as failures. His being felt so deeply hurt, because what is ignorance, what is knowledge, both are part of him. So don't think that there can be a person with only successes and accomplishments without its counterpart of failures. As much as there is fame, there would also be ignominy. So these things are common and they live above the pairs. So today the Master instructs us by recollecting to us, maintain an orange color diary and be regular in your prayer, you would start receiving instructions. Make note of the instructions after the prayer. Need not necessarily be in such congregations because it's a publicity, but when you pray at home, the book need not be by your side. Immediately after the prayer, you withdraw into your room and make note of the instructions as early as possible, because we tend to forget. And don't make a fuss out of it. Do it silently. So silence, secrecy, service, sacrifice are the steps relating to yoga, not only masonry. So that's how we need to maintain an orange color diary, so that from time to time we receive instructions, and if we are filled with rajas, you receive too many instructions and you make too little following. So try to follow the instructions that come to you. That's how you would be pushed to study Ramayana. That's how you would be pushed to study Bhagavad Gita. You would be pushed to study Bhagavata. And if you study with the instruction of the master, you would see the cream of the things straight away in the scripture. So you would receive the message of that scripture without any roundabouts. There is no beating around the bush. That's how you would learn fast. When he says, now it is time that you read this, you start reading it, you get the cream of that scripture. That's how he works so actively. Master CVV, once he picks you up, unlike the people in Kumbhakonam who don't think of anything, he is the one who puts into all that valid wisdom of the ancient times. And he will not let you into the superstition that is weaved around this wisdom. Every wisdom practice develops its own tradition, and the tradition develops its own superstition, and the superstition builds its own blind beliefs. The beauty of the master is he is so scientific. He puts you to the science of the wisdom. He would not let you fall into the false traditions and the related superstitions and the blind beliefs. What more you want? What more you want? You would very clearly see wherever you go, even if it is such a huge traditional activity there, you don't relate to all that. You would only relate to the essence of it. That is the master. That's how he guides you. This is how the book helps. As I said earlier in the morning, because some of our Ballari brotherhood and even our Ramakrishna Shastri was not present, I would like to repeat. Ensure that you feel the resplendent form of the master when you invoke his name. Ensure that you visualize him either in the forehead or in the heart center, in golden yellow color if it is in the heart center, in the brilliant diamond color in the forehead, and ensure that the master is looking into you and he is blessing you to progress and proceed. When he lifts up his hand and says proceed, then close your eyes mentally, because physically you have already closed the eyes before. It's a beauty then. then the whole process starts. The master, when you invoke him, he comes from the Aquarian center in you, which is at the top of your forehead. This is the Aquarian center, please remember. When you invoke him, he comes down to the center of Gemini, which is called the throat center, and then pulls you up from Libra. This is the work of air that he carries out. The center of Libra is your navel. All human beings are up to the navel. The mineral kingdom is related to the base center. The plant kingdom, the related sensations, the emotions, they are all related to the sacral center. The thinking entity called man is in the solar plexus. He is trying to make up to the heart center. That is why the Kundalini is said to be coiled 3.5 times. Why 3.5 times? He is up to the solar plexus and trying to make up. So that makeup is half, where it has its hood or head. That's the meaning of 3.5 coiled Kundalini. So the sadhaka who is at the solar plexus is pulled up by the master, who descends up to the throat. That's why the Maycall, the master Maycall. 29th May is in Gemini. I suppose this much at least you know. He chose Gemini as the month of initiation. Lord Maitreya also chose Gemini as the month of initiation for humanity. Master Jwalkul has been working effectively in the month of Gemini to initiate beings into the path of light. So in tune with the plan which is already being worked out by Lord Maitreya, the world teacher, Master CVV, who represents the energy coming from Sirius, which is regarded as the energy of the avatar of synthesis in the books of Master Jwalkul. He also chose the month of Gemini for initiation. 29th May, it is May call. What is May call? The master May call. So what is May? May is in you, in your throat center. February is in you, on the top of your forehead. We are now in August, isn't it? That means we are at the heart center. The sun movement throughout the year, if you are aware of it and how he moves in your body during these 12 months, those are the areas where you can very easily feel the presence of the light. So the master, when you visualize him over here, imagine that his lotus feet are at your brow center and his beautiful body is permeating up to the top of the forehead, and you feel in the forehead, top of the forehead, the head of the master. See the eyes of the master, just it's a matter of visualization. It's very inspiring. The very visualization is just imagination, guesswork. This is where I tell you another instruction of Master Maurya. He says, learn how to guess. He must be fed up with us. That's why he gave such instructions which are recorded in the books of Agni Yoga. He says, you fellow, at least learn to guess, my boy. After all, it costs nothing to guess. So guess the presence of the master in the forehead. Feel his forehead on the top of your forehead. So take the master in a miniature form according to the size of your forehead. Don't feel sorry if you have a small forehead. It does not matter. What is important is you feel the master there. Don't have conflict. How about Master E.K.? We have problems, no? See Master M.N., Master E.K. in the heart of Master C.V.V. No problem. Because they are born out of his heart. All disciples of a great master are born out of his heart. So feel the master here totally. When you say Namaskaram's master or Master Namaskaram, whatever it is, what is important is you visualize. That is the yantra, this is the mantra. Then the tantra starts. If you don't have a yantra, the mantra does not work. What is the yantra for the mantra of master? His figure only. Master C.V.V. very clearly stated, don't invoke me through any other figure. Invoke me only with this figure, because I am settling down around the ether of this planet in this form. You have no idea what this master is. You can feel all the solar system in his being. He is so permeating. Yesterday someone gave me a picture which is emanating from another picture which we conceived for the book Aquarian Master. He permeates the great Blair Pleiades and the Sirius. And he comes from Sirius. So it's a serious thing. So he is so permeating. So when you visualize him in your forehead, and when you say Master E.K., feel him that he is, the Master is coming, Master E.K. is coming forth with his sun-shining smile. That is how I feel the Master E.K. His smile is a sunshine to me. Feel the flashing out of Master E.K. with his smile from the heart of Master C.V.V. Then feel the flame of Master M.N. Please remember, he is a fiery element. He is Jwala Narasimha. He is the counterpart of Jwalakul. If Master Jwalakul is working for the hierarchy and propagating the ancient wisdom all over the globe, Jwala Narasimham, known as Master M.N., is the one who is networking the energy of Master C.V.V. all over the planet. If I go to the West and work with the Western groups, in spite of me, Master M.N.'s presence is felt. Why in spite of me? Because of my own obstructions of my mind and personality. He just burns them away and says, here I am, my boy, keep working. That is Master Jwalakul, Master M.N. He is Jwala Narasimha. So feel a very flamy form of Master M.N. Then look to the eyes of Master CVV when you say CVV. By the time you say 3 times Master CVV, just guess or imagine that he raises his right hand and blesses you, and then transmits his light to you. Imagine that the light is received into your eyes. Touch wood, the machine starts. What is that machine? It is Kundalini in action. That is what the Master says. The movement will start in you, and that movement will cause the necessary adjustments in your body. The movement will continue as much as is possible for the day, because if it is conducted more than required, it will affect your body. There are many who got derailed excessively pushing the energy of Master CVV, and you find all kinds of vikaras in prayer. People bawling out, yawning too much. It is only a self-proposition, these yawnings. If you yawn, others would feel that it is working with you. So you yawn and your neighbor yawns even stronger. And ultimately it looks to be a crowd of cows and buffaloes. That's not the yoga. Please don't mistake me if I am so harsh on such things. And there are some to whom the physical body moves when the yoga happens. That's not yoga. That means the movement is subtle and is related to subtle work and relates to building up of etheric body, nothing to do with the body of flesh and blood. If your physical body remains stable when you are at work, as stable as the stone,